I don't wanna bet, but my father wrote a check that I'm betting his ass could never cash. He's betting on the 8-ball and landing in the sidewalk. Cold-blooded killer if you ask.
Ugh, that was hot. Much better. Okay, so this is my first YouTube video in probably 2 years, which is kind of nuts because I used to absolutely love making YouTube videos. I've literally made YouTube videos since I was maybe 14, trying to make it as a gaming YouTuber. But here we are, years later, still trying to make it, just doing something completely different. So yeah, I vowed in my New Year's resolutions to make a YouTube video. I've been meant to do this for fucking ages, but I've just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So like everybody else, January 2nd, 3rd is the time to start. I do not want soggy oats. And as you can probably tell from the start of this video, I'm a bit rusty on the whole YouTube thing. I also have a completely new device gadget thing. I'll try to put it up on the screen now. And it's kind of terrifying looking. But it has like a little gimbal there that's supposed to follow where I go. Nope, no clue how that works, but I can make it flip around. And then when I move it, it has a mind of its own. So it doesn't just film straight, it films in loads of different directions. I'm just getting used to it, so you're gonna have to cut me some slack. But on that note, I think that's a very important thing to do at the start of anything, especially kind of these New Year's resolutions. You gotta cut yourself a bit of fucking slack, because a lot of you are starting something new or going back to something that you haven't done in a very long time. I think, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But anyway, expecting yourself to be perfect at something at the start is just fucking, that's not cooked, insane. Like imagine your mum came up to you and said, son or daughter, I started the gym yesterday, but I'm not doing all the exercises perfectly. I'm not as strong as everybody else, and I feel a little bit insecure about that. What would you do? You would probably say something along the lines of, depending on what you say to your mother, stop being a fucking numpty. Of course you're not amazing at it yet. You just fucking started. Like my head was just out of frame. Am I still gonna use that clip? Yes. But I'll learn for next time, hopefully. Now I know it's not fun being shit at things. And if you think to a lot of the things that you actually enjoy in your life, like you probably are pretty good at them, and maybe you even started off better than most people. And then you enjoyed it because you were good at it. Then you became better at it, and then it became your hobby. Like especially with the people that I work with, the amount of times I have somebody come to me saying, I don't like the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. And then they go for a couple months, and they get stronger, and they get stronger, and they get stronger. And then they start loving the gym. It's pretty much everyone. I'm not gonna say loving the gym, because some of the guys I work with may have other opinions, but they like it a lot more. So the price of getting good at anything is usually being shit at it for a bit and just getting frustrated. Now I am going to, God damn it, look at the fucking breakfast. Enjoy my breakfast and watch some YouTube. What time is it? And then I'm gonna run through my New Year's resolutions and how I was actually successful with losing weight the year I did. So today is a bit of a quieter work day because it is Friday, which is usually quieter in general, usually kind of reserved for calls and making some content. But I am a bit sick at the moment, and also it is the first Friday of the year on the 3rd of January, and I only went back to work. Yes, well, I worked Monday and then I worked Thursday, Friday. So I don't have too much to do today, but I do have a couple of check-ins to get over. And then I have a call with, hopefully, a new person starting up. Yeah, I'm going to do them, get that all out of the way. It'll probably be realistically 3 hours, and then I'll go through my I think I'm a bit of a unibrow through my New Year's resolutions.
Standing in the sidewalk, cold-blooded killer if you ask. But every night he needs me to land himself a red 3-corner pocket at 12.
Okay, so I have been avoiding this. It has been 2 weeks to the day since the last clip was recorded, which is kind of ironic because I was supposed to post a YouTube video every week. But I thought I may as well get back onto it. So basically the reason it took me so long to get back onto it was because I had a flare up with my concussion. So if you hadn't known, or if you don't know, on the 1st of August last year, I got kicked right there at the back of the ear doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was by accident. It wasn't a surprise attack or anything like that. But since then, I have really struggled with vision, concentration. I had stutters for a while.
And if you're in a job that you despise, you're much more likely to stay, to leave.
I couldn't be around bright lights. Now, obviously, I've gotten a lot better, but sometimes it just has flare-ups. So last week, the addition of stress coming back to work, just the more workload going into January, it all caused a flare-up. So I was basically just getting banging in my head. I kind of just had to strip everything back to the basics. And, you know, when I'm working with my guys in the one-on-one coaching and stuff like that, they have to be a priority over content because they pay me to do my job, so I can't just ignore them. So that's kind of why this has taken so long. And it's made me reevaluate some of my New Year's resolutions, because obviously I've already technically failed one of them, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. And I know I've failed a lot in the past, but instead of beating myself up like I have done in the past and like I have done for a bit today, or maybe not today, over the last week, I am going to just adjust. I've learned my lesson, I've learned what can happen, and I'm going to adjust. So we're still going to go through everything. We're still going to go through these, my New Year's resolutions, but they're going to be slightly different. And yeah, I just thought I had to be real with you guys, be honest. And I was thinking maybe I can just throw on the same shirt and nobody will notice. But look, what's the point? The only person I'm fooling is myself. So let's get into it. So this is actually one of the first years I've been very, very clear with my goals, and I kind of know what I want to achieve this year from the very get-go. See, I'm working with a business mentor at the moment, or like a kind of a business coach, nearly. And at the start of the year, we've done this exercise where we are just looking at, okay, what is the goals for this year? Let's break them down. Let's talk about them. And I have a whole sheet, about a 4-page sheet, running down exactly kind of my goals, my whys. Now, I'm not going to show you everything there, but it's really made me think about what I want to do this year, which I haven't been, you know, too good at. And I know it's very easy to kind of, you know, just throw some random things at a wall at New Year's just to kind of match the trend, but they don't usually last. So that's why I'm being a little bit more clear about my goals. And I think the last time I was this clear about a goal was when I ended up losing weight the second time. And I had just broken it down, and I knew exactly what I was doing. The first goal is a business-based goal, which I wasn't sure if I was going to share on this, just because I feel a bit icky talking about it, you know? It's kind of like talking about money, talking about these things, but I thought it was better just to share it with you. I don't know why. I think it's kind of stupid not to share goals with people and to kind of avoid this and hide behind the awkwardness of money, but I still find myself doing it just because I guess it's society and all that. But the first goal is I want to get 60 people into one of my group coaching things. So again, if you haven't, some of you may have heard about it. I haven't done one in a while now because of the concussion, but I think every 3 or 4 months, I run kind of like a 6-week challenge to lose weight and kind of teach you as much as I can in 6 weeks. It's obviously not as in-depth as the one-on-one coaching, but it's the best that I can physically do for a group of people. And obviously it's a reduced rate and all that. So you can get the best out of it. But I still get some, really, really good results with it. But the reason that this is kind of such a big thing for me is because I have failed so badly with it at the start. So a little story for you. When was it? It was probably about 2 or 3, it's 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, I blew up on social media. This is probably where most of you are following me from. Again, it was the content where I was in the gym, showing people how to do it. I love those videos. And I'd scream, I got you. And then show you how to do the exercise. And I gained a lot of followers from that. Now, at the time, I was in college. I was, my day was kind of crazy. I was in work, so I was working in in-person PT at a gym in Cork. I was working from about 6 a.m. to maybe 9, 10 a.m. Then I was going to college till about 3, 4, 5 p.m. whenever I finished. And then working back in the gym and then recording videos after that. Probably about 11 p.m. To 3 a.m. There's been a lot of 3 a.m. recording sessions. Good memories, but Jesus, it burnt me out a bit. But anyway, back to the story. I was blew up on social media, and I knew I wanted to get into coaching. I knew that that's where I wanted to be. I was kind of studying it in college, but it was fairly basic, and I knew I knew I wasn't going to get a crazy job out of that. So I decided to drop out. I had decided to drop out. I hadn't told my parents. I hadn't told anyone like that, but I knew there was an opportunity ahead of me. And I went home, told my mum. She was like, okay, not amazing. This was the second time I dropped out of college. But look, if your dad's okay with it, I'm okay with it. And now my dad was always going to be the harder one to convince. So we got in a massive argument about it. A massive, massive argument. Now, again, luckily I was paying all my rent. I kind of had all that covered. So there was nothing, I kind of had the power to do it. I wasn't going to go homeless or anything like that because I was working in the gym. But yeah, I decided to do it anyway. Did not go down well. And the group coaching was the first thing that I had really done after it. Like I had, I had just started the coach. I just kind of started coaching online. I had, a couple of clients coming in and out, maybe like 3 or 4 at the time. And I did this group coaching, and I had 30,000 followers or whatever. I had this email list of people that were interested. I think it was close to 1,000 people. I joined this waiting list to, get their spot on the group coaching. So I thought, like me, I was working with the business coach here. I just kind of started, and based on his knowledge and based on kind of what he'd seen before, we were looking kind of at least 100 people. 100 to 120 people was kind of what we were looking at. And that did not happen. So the day of the launch happened, I was doing my live, and I got 12 sign-ups. So 3 months of work, literally everything I had put into this, and 12 sign-ups. So that was a kick in the teeth. And now I had about a week to get as many sign-ups as I could through that. And I remember I was sitting the day before, it was my girlfriend's birthday, and she had a party. And I was just sitting in the party, not talking to anyone, just so much anxiety eating away at me because I felt like I'd failed. I felt like that was the first time that I had the kind of to prove my dad wrong, being like, yes, I can do this shit. Dropping out of college wasn't a stupid decision, and then it blew up completely in my face. Now, I think we probably ended up with 16, 17 people in it. Now I got loads of my mum's friends. I got my mum in it. I got as many people as I could just so it looked better. And I'm actually still working with a couple of people that did it, and we did get some good results. And I really enjoyed running them, but that launch has completely just built so much anxiety around it because it was such a big blow up in my face moment, and I expected so much. And then it just did not reach that at all. I went, whew, it tanked. So since then, I've done probably about 5 other launches. And I've just never committed to them 100% since then. You know, I've half-hour installed them. Like we got, I think about 30 people in the last one. And look, again, great results. Still working with a lot of them. Really enjoy running them. But I hate the launches. I never commit to them. I half-hour the entire time. And I just wanted to give it a good go because I love running them. I know they help so much to people based on like all of these people, all of these texts, all from people that have done it. So I know it makes such a huge difference to other people's lives. But I have just I hate doing them. Like even I know I have one coming up, kind of in March, and the launch will probably start in February, and so a month away. And I was sitting there last night in bed, unable to get to sleep because I was anxious about it. So the big goal for the end of the year is to get 60 people in one. And less about the number, more about me just fully committing to it, because it is one of my goals. It really helps a lot of people and it helps my business as well. So I really want to commit to doing that. Goal number 2 is a little bit less depressing to hear about. It's kind of just like a fun goal that I've wanted to do for ages. If you ever see, you know, those van life content creators, people who live out of their vans. Now, I'll be honest, don't think I'd be able to do that. I appreciate comfort too much, but I'm not sure if I've actually showed it on my social media. But during my concussion period, I got a little bit of a new car. Now, again, I'm not crazy into cars, not really looking for fancy stuff or anything, but I did get this guy. I know it might be underwhelming, but I absolutely love it. It's got cream leather interior, which I think is hilarious. I got like Bluetooth. It's the first car I have that has Bluetooth, but the big selling point for me was you can take out the seats and you can convert the back of it into like a weekend away camper van. So like I live in Ireland. There's some beautiful scenery literally everywhere. It is a beautiful part of the world, but hotels are expensive, Airbnbs are expensive, and I kind of just want to be able to go somewhere on a whim over a weekend, take my nephew camping. Like, we both have massive fans of the outdoor boys, so that would be loads of fun, and just be able to kind of just ship off whenever I want, and just spend a couple of days away. Or even I have friends all over Ireland from social media and just from knowing people that have moved, and I can't really visit them that much because I don't have anywhere to stay when I go down there. So that is kind of goal 2. I've been watching loads and loads of conversions, and I will probably make a full YouTube video around the conversion. Realistically, that'll be kind of happening in spring, because it's cold. I don't really want to sleep in my car when it's cold. Yeah, that's the second goal. A little bit more of a positive one, but still a big one for the year. Now, the third one is I want to take more care of my own health and my own weight and the way I look more over this year. I am an absolute criminal for getting completely obsessed with work and letting my own health and things that I'm supposed to be prioritizing and tell people to prioritize slip a little bit. Now, again, have I ever gained all my weight back? No, but I've been, I've probably gained weight back more than I should be. Now, since the concussion, again, I've had a lot more time. I had to prioritize running. I had to prioritize my own health a lot more, which was great. I got into much better shape. Yeah, I gained a bit of weight. If you follow my story, I gained a bit of weight over November, December, January. Well, start of January because my birthday, Christmas, anniversary all kind of fall in that period. And we did a lot of stuff, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating, good fun, but not great for the waistline. So I'm probably up about 4 or 5 kilos, but I've already started the weight loss journey down to it. Goal is to hit about 80. I'd like to kind of maintain that area, a little bit leaner. Realistically, just for vanity reasons, if I'm honest. Will losing the weight upgrade my life in much ways? Probably not. It's not like I'm an unhealthy weight or I've let myself get to unhealthy weights. I'm still fit. Maybe it'll make my running a little bit easier because less it's like taking a 5 kilo vest off, but realistically it's mostly for vanity reasons. Now there's kind of two more big goals I have, or big kind of changes I want to make. Number one would be around content. Get more consistent with long form content. I think I have the goal in my head of 30 YouTube videos this year, which I think is more maintainable because with my concussion, I just can't work as much. I just can't. Like the start of this week was absolutely great. I was on top of everything, working loads, being super productive. And now Thursday, Friday, I am zonked. Literally, I wake up tired, brain's not there. Not quite getting a headache, but I can feel it. My vision's going a little bit bad. And so it's just not realistic. It's not realistic to try to push myself because I don't want to have flare-ups in weeks that I just can't work much at all because that is far less productive. So probably at the start of the year, we'll be looking at kind of what the goal I set aside is twice a month YouTube videos and maybe twice a month podcasts. But by the end of the year, I kind of want to make them weekly again, which would be great because I really, really enjoy doing them. But it's not realistic at the moment. And then the last one is the one I'm most unsure about. And as you can see, I am running at the moment, and I've really gotten into running since I've had to run pretty much every day, well, 5 days a week with my concussion. And it is to run a marathon. I know that's on everybody's list. And I don't know if it is going to be a this year thing, realistically. On New Year's Eve this year, or last year, obviously, I ran a half marathon, and it was fucking tough. So I don't know how I'm going to cope with doing double it. But throughout my entire life, I've always said I'm shit at running. When I was 12, I struggled and came last in a 400 meter run. I had to walk part of it. When I was in secondary school or high school, or actually I'm not sure what it's known as in the UK, I did a 2k run, and I was in that group that finished last, and everybody was cheering on because we were straggling so far behind. And I just never thought I'd be someone who could run a marathon. So I don't think I'll ever become like a marathon runner or be particularly good at it. But I have run half marathon is about 2 hours and 5 minutes with very little training. No training really over 5k distance. But I think I could do it. And I think I'd want to prove that I could do it to myself more so than anything. Again, I don't think it'll ever become a major passion of mine because running long distance sucks. But it's something I want to challenge myself with. So maybe that won't be a 2025 goal, but start training anyway. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted from this year. I'd love to hear what you're looking to do this year. If you want to comment it down below. I'm sounding like a real YouTuber now. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. But look, I really appreciate you watching the video, especially the whole way through. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.